town.
When Klay Thompson goes on a hot streak, he becomes an unstoppable force, a machine capable of destroying defenses and breaking records. Throughout his career, Klay has proven to be much more than just a shooter. While his name isn't always the first one mentioned when talking about the Warriors, his contribution to the prime of his career places him among the greatest in NBA history. Klay's legacy began before his arrival in the league. Raised in a family of athletes, with his father, Michael Thompson, being the first pick in the 1978 draft, and his mother, Julie, a college star in track and field and volleyball, Klay seemed destined for athletic success. His skills stood out from a young age, and his work ethic at Washington State was a harbinger of things to come. It was there that he demonstrated his shooting ability from day one. Selected 11th overall in the 2011 draft by the Golden State Warriors, Klay quickly showed his talent. Though initially, as a Lakers fan, he wasn't thrilled with the idea, his impact was immediate. In his rookie season, he averaged 12.5 points per game and an impressive 41% three-point shooting rate, earning a spot on the all-rookie first team. But Klay wasn't satisfied. He spent the summer training tirelessly, improving not only his shooting, but also his defense, which led him to become one of the best defensive point guards in the league. Over time, the Warriors began to build a dynasty, and Klay was an integral part of that transformation. Along with Stephen Curry, he formed the most lethal shooting duo the NBA had ever seen, the Splash Brothers. The on-court chemistry between the two, along with the arrival of coach Steve Kerr, allowed the Warriors to perfect an innovative style of play based on pace and three-pointers, known as pace and space. In the 2014-2015 season, Klay had one of his most iconic performances when he scored 37 points in a single quarter against the Sacramento Kings, setting a record that has yet to be broken. Klay's game was not limited to offensive explosion nights. He was a formidable defender, using his 6'9" height and wingspan to mark the league's best scorers. His ability to stay in constant motion, his understanding of the game, and his toughness made him tireless on both ends of the court. This led him to be a key player in the 2015 Finals, when the Warriors broke a 40-year drought and were crowned champions. Klay continued to improve in 2016, adding more weapons to his offensive arsenal, such as post play and off-the-bounce shots. It was in that year's playoffs that he turned in one of his most memorable performances, the Game 6 Klay against the Oklahoma City Thunder. In that conference finals game, with the Warriors on the brink of elimination, Klay scored 41 points and made 11 three-pointers, leading his team to a victory that forced Game 7 and eventually took them back to the finals. The 2016-2017 season marked a change with the arrival of Kevin Durant, but Klay remained a central figure on the team, averaging a personal best 22.3 points per game. One of the most iconic moments of that season came in December 2016, when he scored 60 points in just 29 minutes, with just 14 dribbles and less than 90 seconds of total possession. That game was the perfect illustration of why Klay was so valuable. He didn't need the ball to be devastating. While his offensive production was more subdued in the 2017 playoffs, his defense was impeccable. Klay took on the task of marking the best opposing players and helped the Warriors finish the postseason with a 16-1 record, the best playoff winning percentage in history. In 2018, Klay and the Warriors continued their hot streak, winning another championship after a tough series against the Rockets in the conference finals and a sweep over LeBron James and the Cavaliers in the finals. During that season, Klay again broke records, making 14 three-pointers in a game against the Chicago Bulls, surpassing Curry's previous mark. Those kinds of performances reinforced his reputation as the league's best shooter on the move. But in 2019, as the Warriors sought their fourth title in 5 years, tragedy struck. Klay suffered a torn ACL in Game 6 of the Finals. Despite the injury, he showed his competitiveness by wanting to return to the game after a brief rest, a sign of his tireless spirit. Unfortunately, this kept him off the court for the entire next season. Worse, just as he was close to returning, another injury, this time to his Achilles tendon, forced him to miss another full season. Klay's return in 2022 was an emotional moment for the NBA. After 941 days without playing, he returned and, although he was not the same player in terms of mobility and defense, he still retained his lethality from the perimeter. He averaged 20 points per game in the regular season and was instrumental in the playoffs, helping the Warriors win another title and reaffirming his legacy. Klay Thompson's career, marked by records, sacrifice, and an unwavering dedication to the game, puts him in a special category. He is the epitome of the perfect shooter, and his ability to combine explosive offense with elite defense makes him one of the most complete point guards to come through the NBA. His prime was not only an era of individual dominance, but he helped cement a dynasty and redefined what it means to be a shooter in the modern era of basketball. After watching the video, what do you think about this player's career? Do you want to meet more NBA legends? Leave it in the comments, and we'll be happy to hear from you. And, if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe.